Welcome to HEC's after school program. So for today's activity, we're gonna make a flower. We're gonna make a rose, to be honest. So for this activity, we're gonna require 3 pieces of colored paper, a scissor, a glue stick, a pencil, and liquid glue. Our first step is we're going to fold each paper . After you have your 3 sheets of folded paper, we're going to fold them like this. So the goal of this is to make a square. After you finish folding, grab the scissors and cut the excess. So after you finish cutting, you should have 3 triangles. So for the next step is to fold each triangle in half. So you should have 3 smaller triangles now. So do that for each piece of paper. So after you have 3 smaller triangles, let's fold the paper again. So for this activity, you could use any type of paper, though colored paper is preferred. Construction paper also works well, and it is not recommended to use cardstock paper. So now, we should have 3 smaller triangles. So now we have our 3 smaller triangles. The next step after here is to use a pencil. We're gonna trace half of the hearts. So in this case, let's see how I do it. So this is the shape that I'm making, and this is gonna be half of a heart. So be careful on where you trace the hearts, because if you trace it on this side, then you're actually gonna end up with a bunch of small shapes. So make sure to trace it on this side. So now we're gonna do this for all 3 triangles. After you finish cutting, you should end up with 3 half of hearts. If we open it up, what do we see? A heart. And that's the goal of this. So now let's fold it back up. Our next step is to cut the tip of the flower. Cut a tiny tip off. Let's open this up. So now that we have the 3 outlines of the flower, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the first one and we're gonna see the flower. And we see that the flower has 8 leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're gonna cut up 1 leaf off for the first shape. For the second one, we're gonna cut up 2 leaves off, like this. And for the third one, we're gonna cut up 3 leaves. 1, 2, 3. Now when cutting, make sure that you keep them all together. Do not cut the leaves one by one. And this should be your result. So, I'm gonna put some glue on the first leaf. As you can see, there's only glue on this one. And then, let's stick it together. So now I should be left with this. And we're gonna do that for the next part of the leaf. After you finish gluing, you should be left with 3 small flowers. And you should still have these 3 remaining. Now let's put this to the side. And what are we gonna do with these? For the first one, we're gonna grab a pencil and we're gonna use it to help curve the leaf. Why? To make it more realistic. Now let's go to this one. Like we did with these ones, we're gonna glue it together. For these ones, we're also going to glue them together. You're going to fold it up a bit. We want to make this shape. So we're going to add some glue on the outer side of it. Use a pencil if necessary. Now let's see how this will look. Now, if this was done, it will look like a nice flower. There's something missing. And that's the fact that every flower has to look realistic. To make it look realistic, for each leaf, we're going to use a pencil. Okay, so now we're gonna use liquid glue. I'm gonna stick it in at the very bottom. Do that for every layer. So now you're done. And now you can make a bunch of these flowers. You can make them for loved ones, for that special someone, for parents, for siblings, for sisters, for brothers. Or you can make them for yourselves.